Hey YouTube, what's going on, guys? Time Lord here, bringing you my second Vanguard video. This is of my second completed deck. If you couldn't tell by now, it is Angel Feather. It's the new clan that just came out with Breaker of Limits set 6. Bunch of support in that. I'm waiting for Rampage of the Beast King set 7 for a few more cards. You know, so I can playtest like Shamsteel and Kiriel and everything. But I'll get into that later. If you haven't already, go check out my Gold Paladins on my channel. I'll even put a link in the description so you guys can check that out. That is, officially complete. I run that primarily at locals. It's done really well. And this deck has been so competitive and so consistent. It's ridiculous. And I was thinking about taking it to regionals in Chicago, but I don't think I'm going to make it out there in time. So, but yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. Of course, it is Angel Feather, so starting Vanguard is Thermobral Angel. I tried the Cosmo Healer or Godiel build of this for, quite a long time. Playtested a lot of different variants of the deck. Did not like it. I felt it did not meet my play style, and that's because the ride chain, at least for me, is inconsistent, and I didn't like that. I wanted the deck to have as much consistency as possible, and plus, it's, on top of the inconsistency, it's not a very hard-hitting deck, so a lot of other decks can get around it really easily. But the reason I'm not playing Godiel is, just because I find it, like I said, majority inconsistent, and it's slow. So I switched to Kiriel, and it's been dominating locals. It's just unbelievable. But yeah, Thermometer Angel starting Vanguard. Counterblast 1, put it into Soul, and search the top 5 for my deck for a grade 3 if I don't already have one in my hand to start the game. So it's good after I take first damage, Counterblast 1, and then search for that grade 3. So yeah. That's why she's a starter. Critical, or trigger lineup, excuse me. Of course, we got 4 heal, Sunny Smile Angel. I don't run it as a starting Vanguard, even though you can shuffle it back in, but I just prefer to have, 4 to start off in my deck rather than, 3. So that's why she's not my starter. Bouquet Toss Messenger. Draw is always good. And if you know me and you see my Gold Paladin deck profile, whoops, I like to hit for some extra damage. So I'm running 8 critical, 4 Rocket Dash Unicorn, 4 critical hit Angel. You can actually run stands in this deck. I probably won't run any stand triggers. That's just simply because I don't like stand triggers. This deck doesn't really need it. I like being able to hit for extra damage. There's nothing like drive checking with Kiriel twice, twin drive, and revealing double critical. So, just punishes your opponent when you don't guard. And I do like the sleeper trigger idea, meaning you have basically one of each trigger in your deck. Obviously, you have your 4 heal, 4 draw. You can go 6 critical, so that'll give you 14, and then you can add 2 stand to keep your opponent guessing actually how many triggers you run. But that's just a different kind of strategy that you can do with pretty much any deck in Vanguard. But yeah, that's my trigger lineup. Grade 1s, of course, 4 Perfect Guard. Requiem obviously gets sent to the damage zone a lot, so I swap. And Perfect Guard, it's just Perfect Guard. I run 4 of the Grade 1 Battle Cube and No-Seals. No-Seal is so good. Obviously, she's a booster, 6k booster, so when I need her in a pinch, she's good for that. And a lot of decks early game hit for a little under 15k, so I'm able to easily guard with it, and then if I have to, I can damage swap. So No Seal is really good. A lot of people don't like it. However, I prefer it at 4 because I find a lot more consistent than 2 and 3. Continue on with grade 1s. 1000 Ray Pegasus. Only 2. Because I'll tell you in a minute after I get to the next card in the deck. But I like 1000 Rays effect. Same thing with Million Ray Pegasus, which I also run 2 of. But I'll get to that in a minute. Send a card to damage zone, gains plus 2k. So when I continuously swap, for something like No Seal, the grade 2 No Seal on my turn will gain plus 2k and become a 9k beater at least. So I can get it up to 11k potentially. Then we run 4 Burst Shot Bethniel. It's 8k vanilla booster, pretty much self-explanatory. Generally, this gets Kiriel up to 23 with limit break. 23 is, it sounds low, but it's consistent. I don't like Lancet Shooter. I don't like Lightning Charger. The reason being, I'd rather have a solid 8K, than and keep it consistent than try to run something else and it not be as consistent. I also do not run Clutch Rifle Angel, even though I probably could take out the 1000 Ray Pegasus and probably put those in there. But that's the grade 1s. We move on to the grade 2. Just 3 of the Love Machine Gun No Seal. When it's placed on a rear guard circle, choose an Angel Feather from my hand and place it in my damage zone. And then choose an Angel Feather from my damage zone, place it into my hand. So it's really good. You can swap your cards like Requiel, Kiriel, etc., etc. Self-explanatory. That's what Angel Feathers do. They swap and own people. Like I said, 2 million Ray Pegasus gains plus 2k when a card sent to damage zone. So if it's your Vanguard and your opponent's attacking you, sending damage, oh yeah, now it's 11k, so you only have to guard for 10k shield or 5k shield, whatever. 3 Core Memory Armoros. This is a debatable card for a lot of players. People sometimes run 1, 2, or none at all. I like 3. Counterblasting in this deck is not a problem with Core Memory Armoros. And then people will be like, well, if counterblasting is not a problem, then why don't you run Lancet Shooter? Simple fact is I don't like Lancet Shooter. That's that. Core Memory Armoros. Counterblast 2, when it hits, when it hits any unit, including Vanguard, or a rear guard, when it hits, Counterblast 2 to draw a card. Going plus with this deck is always an advantage. Always an advantage. And with the amount of times that I can swap cards, I continuously either swap my damage zone, my Counterblast damage zone cards, and it's rarely face up unless I absolutely need to grab something that I need. So I'll generally set up a Counterblast play so I can do that on purpose because I know I'm going to be grabbing damage throughout the game. 4 Gatling Shot Barbiel because it's 10k grade 2 and it's a beat stick. It's pretty self-explanatory. That takes care of the grade 2s. Finally we run, obviously, main Vanguard of the deck is Kiriel. Run 4 Counterblast 1, and when it's placed on a Vanguard circle, Counterblast 1, and call one of your Angel Feather in your damage zone. Also take, it's got to be face up Angel Feather in your damage zone, and then take the top card of your deck, put it face down into your damage zone. So basically, if I have, I ride Kiriel. If I have a Core Memory or a No Seal, combos really well with the 2 of those, and it's just really good. With Bethnail, like I said, with Limit Break, it gets up to 23, and it hits consistently with Twin Drive because your opponent's like, well, 23 is kind of low. Do I take it or do I guard it? Either way, you're still going to have to be guarding for 15k shield. So even though you actually do get to 25, with Clutch Rifle Angel, it's so much more consistent than trying to gamble on it. Plus, this deck reveals heal triggers like a boss. So 4 Kiriel, and then 3 Burst Shot Bethnail to wrap up the grade 3s. When it attacks a Vanguard, gains plus 2k if I have an Angel Feather Vanguard. Since every unit in this deck is an Angel Feather, it's automatically 12k when it attacks Vanguard. Genial's really good because it can get up to 20k, and in situations where I need that 20k, it's really resourceful. But yeah, that's my Angel Feather deck. It's played so well for me. I've just won so many games. 2-0 Kagero, whatever the hell you say it. 2-0 Narukami, 2-0 Go Paladins, etc., etc. It's just a good deck. I enjoy playing it. So fun. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. Worst thing I can say is no, or nobody likes that suggestion. Just saying. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Make sure to like this video. Like I said, leave a comment what you think, guys. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Thanks to all my subscribers again for sticking in with me. I appreciate you guys' support. And that means a lot, as especially as this is my primary hobby. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later.